Lesson 1. Market Strategy.
We must initiate a comprehensive competitor analysis to evaluate the latest market shifts effectively.
That is a very good plan. We want to stay ahead of the competition during this volatile fiscal quarter.
I have noticed that our primary rival has recently increased their social media presence quite significantly.
There is much hype surrounding their new sustainable packaging initiative, which is trending among younger consumers.
It is controversial whether their environmental claims are backed by transparent data or if it is merely clever marketing.
Regardless of the truth, we must ensure that our own brand remains relevant and continues to offer superior value.
I shall delegate the task of data collection to the junior research team by the end of this afternoon.
Will you also consider investigating their recent acquisition of that small software development firm?
Indeed, that acquisition suggests they are preparing to integrate artificial intelligence into their customer service.
We must not fall behind in technological innovation if we wish to maintain our current market share.
I intend to draft a strategic proposal that outlines our response to these emerging industrial challenges.
Your ability to anticipate the moves of our competitors is one of your most impressive professional traits.
I find that careful observation often reveals the subtle intentions behind a large corporation's public actions.
I shall assist you by providing the latest financial statements from our secondary competitors for comparison.
That will be invaluable as we need a holistic view of the entire landscape before we present to the board.
I am certain that our proactive approach will yield positive results for our shareholders in the coming months.
We must remain diligent and adaptable as the pace of global commerce continues to accelerate rapidly.
I will organize our findings into a clear and concise presentation for our meeting on Tuesday morning.
I look forward to reviewing the final draft once you have synthesized the most critical data points.
Lesson 2. Social Networking.
It is perfectly normal to feel a sense of hesitation when entering a room filled with unfamiliar professionals.
I have several career goals, but how should I approach people and start conversations without feeling awkward?
You should begin with a polite introduction and perhaps ask a question about their current professional projects.
There is a trending belief that one must have a perfectly rehearsed elevator pitch to be successful.
Much hype is given to such speeches, but I find that a genuine and authentic interest in others is far more effective.
It is controversial whether one should discuss personal interests or strictly adhere to professional topics during these events.
I believe that finding common ground outside of work often builds a stronger and more lasting professional relationship.
I shall try to find individuals who share my passion for environmental sustainability and corporate ethics.
That is an excellent strategy, as shared values provide a natural starting point for a meaningful dialogue.
How do I gracefully conclude a conversation once it has reached a natural stopping point?
You may thank them for their time and express a desire to follow up with them via a professional digital platform.
I will practice my introduction with my peers before the main networking session begins this evening.
Confidence is a skill that improves with frequency, so do not be discouraged by a few initial hesitations.
I find your advice to be very practical, and it has significantly reduced my level of social anxiety.
I am pleased to assist you, as mastering social grace is as important as your academic achievements.
I shall keep my body language open and maintain a friendly expression to appear more approachable to others.
That will certainly help you appear confident even if you are feeling somewhat uncertain internally.
I am ready to begin the session now and apply the techniques we have discussed today.
I wish you the best of luck. I am certain that you will make many valuable connections today.
Lesson 3: Career Pathways.
We should examine your personal interests to determine which professional path would bring you the most satisfaction.
I enjoy many different activities, but I am finding it difficult to select a single direction for my university studies.
You could look after animals and be a veterinarian. If you like to cook, you could be a professional cook.
There is a trending interest in green jobs that focus on renewable energy and ecological restoration.
Much hype is given to careers in technology, but many vocational roles remain highly controversial and undervalued.
I believe that every profession contributes something unique to the stability and prosperity of our society.
I shall provide you with a list of internship opportunities that allow you to shadow professionals in various fields.
Do you believe that a person should prioritize their passion over the potential for high financial remuneration?
It is a delicate balance. However, a career that aligns with your values usually leads to greater long-term happiness.
I intend to research the educational requirements for becoming a research scientist in the field of marine biology.
Your curiosity regarding the natural world suggests that a scientific career would be a very appropriate choice.
I will also investigate the culinary arts, as I find the process of food preparation to be very meditative.
I find that having multiple interests allows you to be more adaptable in an ever-changing global job market.
I shall attend the vocational fair next week to speak with representatives from the local community college.
That is a proactive step that will help you gather the information necessary for a well-informed decision.
I am grateful for your guidance. It has made the prospect of choosing a career feel much more manageable.
It is my professional responsibility to help you navigate these important life transitions with clarity and confidence.
I will discuss these options with my parents this evening to see which path they think would suit me best.
I look forward to our next meeting where we can refine your choices based on your further research.
Lesson 4: Education Costs.
The increasing financial burden on university students is becoming a significant concern for our national economy.
Some programs will require an average, and tuition costs have gone up in recent years as governments have handed over more responsibility to the individual.
This shift in funding models has led to a controversial debate about the accessibility of quality education for all citizens.
Much hype surrounds the idea of online degrees as a more affordable alternative to traditional campus-based learning.
It is a trending topic to discuss whether the quality of digital education is comparable to face-to-face instruction.
I believe that the prestige of an institution still dictates much of the perceived value of a university degree.
I shall prepare a briefing for the Legislative Committee regarding the impact of high student debt on home ownership.
Do you think that companies should play a larger role in subsidizing the education of their future employees?
Some corporate partnerships have proven successful, but they often raise concerns about the independence of academic research.
I will analyze the data from other nations that provide free or heavily subsidized higher education to their citizens.
Your comparative analysis will provide a much-needed perspective on alternative ways to fund our educational system.
I find that the disparity in educational opportunities is one of the most pressing social issues of our time.
We must ensure that a student's potential is not limited by their family's economic status or background.
I shall finalize the statistical charts tonight so that they are ready for the conference on educational equity.
Excellent. I will provide the qualitative case studies that highlight the personal struggles of students in high tuition programs.
Thank you. Having both data and personal narratives will make our argument much more compelling for the policymakers.
It is our goal to advocate for a system that rewards merit and hard work rather than financial privilege.
I am confident that our research will contribute to a more informed public discussion on this critical matter.
I share your confidence. A well-educated populace is the foundation of a prosperous and innovative society.
Lesson 5. Park Activities.
It is a magnificent day for outdoor leisure. I was considering a visit to the city's Central Park this afternoon.
What activities can we do there? We can have a picnic, walk around, play various sports, or simply read.
There is currently much hype regarding the new open-air yoga sessions that are held near the fountain.
I find that the trending focus on wellness in urban environments is a very positive development for the community.
It is controversial whether commercial events should be allowed to take place in public parks during the weekend.
I believe that as long as the events are inclusive and do not damage the environment, they add to the city's charm.
I shall bring my frisbee and a comfortable blanket so that we can enjoy the sun for a few hours.
I intend to prepare some gourmet sandwiches and a selection of fresh fruit for our picnic lunch.
That sounds like a delightful addition to our plans. I will bring some chilled sparkling water as well.
Do you know if the rose garden is still in full bloom at this stage of the summer season?
I believe it is. The local gardening society mentioned that the flowers are exceptionally vibrant this year.
I will bring my high-quality camera to capture some photographs of the landscaping and the wildlife.
I find that the park provides a necessary refuge from the noise and the constant motion of our daily lives.
I shall meet you at the main entrance in 30 minutes once I have finished preparing the refreshments.
That is a perfect arrangement. I will ensure that I have my park permit for the reserved seating area.
I am looking forward to a relaxing day surrounded by nature without having to leave the metropolitan area.
I agree. It is a privilege to have such a vast green space so close to our residential neighborhood.
I will see you shortly. Please do not forget to wear sun protection as the index is quite high today.
I will certainly keep that in mind. I look forward to a peaceful and productive afternoon with you.
Lesson 6. Cultural Appreciation.
Our recent journey across the continent has provided me with a completely new perspective on global citizenship.
How did this experience impact your view of different cultures? It made me appreciate the diversity of human traditions.
I have noticed that despite our linguistic differences, the fundamental values of hospitality and kindness are universal.
There is much hype surrounding voluntourism, and it is controversial whether these trips provide genuine long-term benefits.
While the debate continues, I believe that the personal connections we formed will have a lasting impact on our worldview.
A trending discussion in social science involves the importance of cultural empathy in solving international conflicts.
I shall document our conversations with the local community leaders to share with our university study group.
Do you believe that living in a foreign environment for an extended period is the best way to learn a new language?
It is certainly the most immersive method, as it forces one to communicate in a variety of daily situations.
I will continue to practice the local customs I learned, such as the traditional tea ceremony here at home.
Maintaining those connections to the cultures we visit is an excellent way to preserve our personal growth.
I find that travel challenges our preconceived notions and forces us to confront our own cultural biases.
It is a humbling experience that reminds us of how much we still have to learn about the world around us.
I shall start planning our next expedition once we have had a chance to rest and process our current memories.
I will assist you in researching regions that are not typically found in the mainstream travel brochures.
Thank you. I'm eager to explore places that offer a more authentic and less commercialized cultural experience.
I am certain that our future travels will continue to enrich our lives and expand our intellectual horizons.
I feel a profound sense of gratitude for the opportunity to have participated in such a meaningful project.
I share your sentiment. These experiences are what truly define our understanding of the broader human experience.
Lesson 7. Uplifting Music.
I find that the correct selection of music can fundamentally alter my emotional state after a demanding day at work.
I agree, music has a unique power to heal. What's a song that makes a bad day better for you?
For me, a classic soul track from the 1960s always provides an immediate sense of comfort and joy.
There is a trending interest in low-fidelity beats as a way to improve focus and reduce psychological stress.
Much hype is given to the latest pop hits, but I find that they often lack the emotional depth of the older classics.
It is controversial whether modern digital production has diminished the raw soul and authenticity of the music industry.
I believe that while technology has changed the sound, the essential human connection remains the same.
I shall create a personalized playlist of uplifting songs to listen to during my morning commute.
That is a wonderful idea. It will help you start your professional day with a positive and focused mindset.
Do you believe that certain musical frequencies can actually have a physical healing effect on the human body?
Some researchers are investigating the use of sound therapy, although the scientific community remains somewhat divided on the topic.
I will look for some classical compositions that were specifically written to evoke a sense of peace and tranquility.
I find that the complexity of a symphonic arrangement provides a rich tapestry for the mind to explore and relax.
I shall purchase this record by a new local artist who is known for her poetic lyrics and acoustic style.
Supporting local musicians is an excellent way to ensure that the creative culture of our city continues to flourish.
I am curious to hear your opinion on the latest experimental electronic music that is becoming very popular lately.
I find it intriguing, although it requires a very different type of listening than the traditional genres I usually prefer.
I will bring my headphones to our next meeting so that we can exchange some of our favorite recent discoveries.
I look forward to that. I am always eager to expand my musical library with high-quality recommendations from you.
Lesson 8. Booking London.
Good afternoon. I understand that you are preparing for a major international journey to the United Kingdom.
Hi, I am planning my trip to London. Could you help me with booking a hotel room and planning my itinerary?
I shall be happy to assist you. Are you looking for a traditional luxury hotel or something more contemporary and central?
There is much hype surrounding the boutique hotels in the East End that are known for their artistic interior design.
It is a trending area, though some travelers find it a bit controversial due to the noise of the vibrant nightlife.
I would prefer a location that provides easy access to the historical landmarks such as the Tower of London.
I shall search for a reputable establishment in the Westminster area that offers both comfort and historical charm.
Will you also assist me in purchasing tickets for a theatrical performance in the famous West End district?
Indeed, I can secure premium seating for the most popular shows if we make the reservations this week.
I find that the history of the city is what attracts me the most, especially the Victorian and Georgian architecture.
I will organize a private walking tour that focuses on the architectural evolution of the city over the last 3 centuries.
Do you think that 5 days is a sufficient amount of time to experience the major highlights of the city?
It is a good starting point, although London is so vast that one could spend a lifetime exploring its hidden corners.
I shall finalize my travel dates tonight and provide you with my formal confirmation via electronic mail.
Excellent. I will also provide you with information regarding the most efficient ways to navigate the public transportation system.
I am very excited about this journey. It has been a lifelong dream of mine to visit the British capital.
It is a truly remarkable city that offers something for every type of traveler, regardless of their personal interests.
Thank you for your professional assistance. It has made the planning process much more enjoyable and less stressful.
It is my pleasure to ensure that your first visit to London is a memorable and perfectly organized experience.
Lesson 9. Culinary Tools.
A high-quality set of blades is the most essential investment for anyone who is serious about the culinary arts.
I am impressed by these knives. They are sharp and easy to use. That sounds fantastic. Where did you get these?
These are hand-forged in a small workshop that has been producing professional tools for over 2 centuries.
There is currently much hype about ceramic knives, but I have heard that they can be quite fragile if dropped.
It is a controversial topic among chefs. While ceramic is sharp, traditional high-carbon steel remains the industry standard.
A trending movement in home cooking is the minimalist kitchen, where one only owns a few very high-quality items.
I believe that is a much better approach than owning dozens of cheap tools that do not perform effectively.
I shall purchase the 8-inch chef's knife and a smaller paring knife to begin my professional collection.
You should also consider a high-quality sharpening stone to maintain the edge of your blades at home.
Will you teach me the proper technique for dicing vegetables without risking a personal injury in the kitchen?
I would be delighted to host a private lesson for you. Safety and precision are the foundations of good cooking.
I find that using the correct tools makes the process of preparing a meal much more efficient and enjoyable.
Indeed, a dull blade is actually more dangerous than a sharp one because it requires more force and is prone to slipping.
I will also look for a sturdy wooden cutting board that will not damage the surface of these fine instruments.
That is a wise decision, and grain maple or walnut boards are the best choices for preserving your knife's edge.
I am eager to begin practicing my new skills and creating more sophisticated dishes for my dinner guests.
I find that the joy of cooking is greatly enhanced when you have confidence in the tools you are using.
I shall treat these items with great care and ensure they are cleaned and dried by hand after every use.
That level of respect for your equipment is exactly what distinguishes a professional from an amateur cook.
Lesson 10. Real History.
We must ensure that our research is based on primary sources to avoid the common misconceptions of popular history.
I agree, many people prefer myths and dull facts, but history is what really happened. History is real life.
The reality of the past is often much more complex and fascinating than the simplified versions found in textbooks.
There is a trending interest in microhistory, which examines the lives of ordinary individuals rather than just kings and wars.
Much hype is given to historical fiction, though it is controversial when it obscures the actual truth for the sake of drama.
I believe that understanding the authentic struggles of our ancestors provides us with a deeper perspective on our own time.
I shall spend the afternoon reviewing the original letters from the 19th century diplomats we are studying.
Do you believe that it is possible for a historian to be completely objective when interpreting events from the past?
It is a constant challenge, however. We must strive to minimize our personal biases and follow where the evidence leads.
I will organize the archival photographs into a chronological sequence for our upcoming public exhibition.
Your attention to detail ensures that the narrative we present to the public is both accurate and engaging.
I find that the dusty smell of old parchment makes the history feel much more tangible and immediate to me.
It is a profound experience to hold a document that was written by a person who lived hundreds of years ago.
I shall prepare a summary of the economic conditions that led to the social reforms of the early 20th century.
That will be a critical component of our research, as economic necessity is often the primary driver of political change.
I am grateful for the opportunity to work on this project. It has deepened my appreciation for the historical method.
It is essential that we preserve the integrity of our collective memory to avoid repeating the mistakes of the past.
I will continue my search for the missing census records in the Regional Archive building tomorrow morning.
I wish you success in your search, and covering a forgotten fact is one of the greatest rewards of our profession.
Lesson 11. Active Communities.
I believe we must rethink our approach to urban development in the historical district.
We have done best when we have seen the community not as a static entity to be resisted and contained, but as an active participant in growth.
That is a profound perspective, as traditional planning often treats residents as obstacles rather than partners.
There is significant hype surrounding the 15-minute city model in contemporary urban discourse.
It is controversial among some business owners who fear that reduced vehicle access will decrease their revenue.
However, the trending data suggests that pedestrian-friendly zones actually increase local economic engagement.
I shall organize a public forum to gather qualitative data from the local inhabitants.
Do you believe that digital crowdsourcing is an effective way to involve the younger demographic in these decisions?
It is a useful tool, but we must ensure we do not marginalize those who are less technologically proficient.
I will draft a proposal for a community-led mural project to enhance the aesthetic value of the central square.
That will foster a sense of ownership and pride among the residents, which is essential for social stability.
We should also prioritize the creation of green spaces that encourage spontaneous social interactions.
I find that the most successful neighborhoods are those where people feel a genuine connection to their environment.
I shall coordinate with the Department of Transportation to discuss the implementation of wider sidewalks.
Excellent. I will prepare a report on how active communities contribute to a reduction in urban isolation.
I am confident that our inclusive strategy will lead to a more vibrant and resilient city for everyone.
Indeed, a city that listens to its people is a city that is built to last for many generations.
I will finalize the meeting agenda tonight so that we can present these ideas to the mayor tomorrow.
I look forward to that discussion, as it is time for a more dynamic and human-centered approach to our work.
Lesson 12. Global Kindness.
I have been reflecting on the various interactions we have had with local residents since we arrived in this country.
I have been treated with the greatest kindness by all classes of the people wherever I have lived or journeyed.
It is heartening to observe that benevolence transcends socioeconomic status and cultural boundaries.
There is much hype in the media about global divisions, but my personal experience suggests a very different reality.
It is controversial to suggest that people are inherently good, yet the evidence of our travels supports that claim.
I find that the trending focus on negative news often obscures the daily acts of compassion performed by ordinary individuals.
I shall document several of these positive encounters in my upcoming travel blog to offer a more balanced perspective.
Do you believe that a traveler's own attitude influences the type of reception they receive from the locals?
Absolutely. A respectful and open demeanor usually elicits a warm and hospitable response from others.
I will never forget the elderly gentleman who walked several blocks just to ensure we found the correct train station.
Such selfless acts of guidance are a testament to the enduring spirit of human cooperation and empathy.
I find that these small moments of connection are more valuable than any monument or museum we visit.
I agree completely. The people are the true soul of any nation and the highlight of any international expedition.
I shall strive to maintain this spirit of kindness when I return to my own community and interact with visitors.
That is a wonderful goal, as hospitality is a virtue that should be practiced universally and without prejudice.
I am grateful for the opportunity to have witnessed such widespread generosity during our time abroad.
I share your gratitude. It has profoundly changed my outlook on the nature of our global human family.
I will finish my notes for the evening and prepare for our departure to the northern province tomorrow morning.
I am certain that we will encounter the same level of warmth as we continue our exploration of this beautiful region.
Lesson 13. Willingness to travel.
This position requires a significant amount of mobility as our clients are located in various international hubs.
Are you willing to travel? Absolutely. I enjoy exploring new places and adapting to different professional environments.
That is excellent, as the job often involves working in diverse time zones on very short notice.
I find that the trending demand for global consultants requires a high level of flexibility and cultural intelligence.
Much hype is given to the glamorous side of international business, but it can be controversial due to the physical exhaustion involved.
I am fully aware of the challenges, and I have developed a disciplined routine to manage my health while on the road.
I shall check your references to confirm your experience in managing projects across multiple geographical locations.
Do you believe that face-to-face interaction is still essential in an era dominated by digital communication?
Indeed, building trust with international partners often requires a physical presence that a video call cannot replicate.
I will ensure that my travel documents are always up to date to prevent any logistical delays for the firm.
Your proactive approach to administrative requirements is a quality that we value highly in our consultants.
I find that experiencing different corporate cultures firsthand provides a deeper understanding of global market trends.
I agree. A consultant who understands the local context is far more effective than one who relies solely on data.
I shall await your further instructions regarding the next stage of the recruitment process for this role.
I will contact you by the end of the week to discuss the technical assessment and a potential start date.
I am very enthusiastic about the possibility of joining your team and contributing to your global operations.
We are looking for individuals who can represent the firm with professionalism and integrity across the world.
I am confident that my skills and my passion for international work make me a very suitable candidate.
I appreciate your candor today. It was a pleasure to learn more about your professional aspiration and experiences.
Lesson 14. Family roles.
It is fascinating to observe how our family roles have remained relatively consistent even as we have become adults.
My younger brother is the baby of the family. I think that we all spoil him more than we should.
That is true, although he is quite charismatic and often uses his position to avoid his fair share of chores.
There is trending research on birth order theory and how it influences the personality traits of siblings.
Much hype is given to the idea of the middle child syndrome, but I find it a controversial topic among psychologists.
I believe that our parents were much more relaxed with him than they were with us when we were his age.
I shall remind him that he is now old enough to assist with the cleanup after this large family gathering.
Do you believe that being the eldest child has provided you with a greater sense of responsibility in your career?
It is likely. I have always felt a need to set a positive example for both of you in everything I do.
I will attempt to be more firm with him regarding his academic responsibilities during the upcoming school semester.
That would be beneficial for his development, as he needs to learn the value of discipline and independent work.
I find it interesting how our different roles within the family have shaped our unique perspectives on the world.
Despite our differences, the bond we share is the most stable and supportive element in our lives.
I shall go and encourage him to help our father with the barbecue before the rest of the guests arrive.
That is a sensible plan. A little responsibility will certainly not harm his status as the favorite of the family.
I am glad we had this conversation. It is important to reflect on these dynamics from time to time.
I agree. Understanding our past is the key to maintaining healthy and supportive relationships in the future.
I will see you at the table shortly. I believe the main course is almost ready to be served to everyone.
I look forward to it. There is nothing more enjoyable than a peaceful afternoon spent with one's closest relatives.
Lesson 15, New Hairstyles.
I must say that your new appearance is quite striking. It is a significant departure from your previous style.
Yes, I enjoy experimenting with new hairstyles. It is fun and it saves money compared to more expensive fashion changes.
It is impressive how a simple change in grooming can alter one's entire professional and personal presence.
There is currently a trending hype on social media regarding do-it-yourself beauty techniques and hair maintenance.
It is controversial whether individuals should attempt complex procedures at home without professional training and tools.
I find that learning to manage my own hair provides a sense of creative satisfaction and financial independence.
I shall consider a more modern cut for myself today, as I have maintained the same look for several years.
Do you believe that one's hairstyle should strictly adhere to the traditional norms of their professional industry?
While some fields remain conservative, there is a growing trend toward accepting more diverse and personal expressions.
I will assist you in selecting a style that complements your facial features while remaining appropriate for your office.
I appreciate your advice, as you have a very keen eye for aesthetic balance and contemporary trends.
I find that changing my hair often signals the beginning of a new phase or a personal project in my life.
It is a symbolic way to refresh one's outlook and boost personal confidence before a major life event.
I shall buy some high-quality organic products to ensure that my hair remains healthy despite the frequent styling.
That is a wise investment, as the health of the hair is just as important as the visual style itself.
I am curious to see your transformation. I am certain that a new look will be very refreshing for you.
I will proceed to the styling chair now. I am feeling quite optimistic about making a small change today.
I will wait for you in the reception area. I have several magazines to read while you complete your appointment.
I look forward to hearing your honest opinion on the result once the stylist has finished their work.
Lesson 16. Team Communication.
The current workload is unprecedented, and I am concerned about the potential for burnout among our junior staff.
I must communicate effectively with my team to manage any urgent situations and maintain a high level of productivity.
I have observed that clear lines of communication prevent the spread of misinformation during a corporate crisis.
There is trending hype about radical transparency in leadership, though it remains a controversial management practice.
I believe that providing the team with the necessary context helps them understand the importance of their individual tasks.
I shall implement a daily 10-minute briefing to ensure that everyone is aligned with our primary objectives for the day.
That is an excellent strategy. Brevity and frequency are often more effective than long, infrequent meetings.
Do you believe that digital messaging platforms have improved or hindered our ability to provide clear instructions?
While they provide speed, they often lack the nuance of a face-to-face conversation, leading to potential misunderstandings.
I will encourage my subordinates to utilize voice calls for any matters that require a detailed or sensitive explanation.
Your focus on the human element of management is the reason why your department consistently performs so well.
I find that a team that feels heard and respected is far more likely to remain loyal during difficult periods.
We must also establish a protocol for escalating issues that cannot be resolved at the departmental level immediately.
I shall draft a flowchart that outlines the hierarchy of decision-making for our upcoming large-scale project.
Excellent. I will review the document to ensure it integrates seamlessly with our existing corporate policies.
I am confident that our collaborative approach will help us navigate these challenges without sacrificing our standards.
I share your confidence. Effective leadership is built on a foundation of clear communication and mutual trust.
I will return to my office now to begin the afternoon briefing with my senior coordinators and assistants.
Please keep me informed of any significant developments that may require my personal intervention or additional resources.
Lesson 17. Setting boundaries.
I have found it increasingly difficult to separate my professional responsibilities from my personal life recently.
Well, I have been working on setting boundaries and sticking to a schedule to ensure I remain productive and healthy.
That is a necessary discipline, as the lack of a physical office can lead to a state of perpetual work.
There is much hype surrounding the hustle culture, which is quite controversial for its impact on mental health.
I find that the trending focus on work-life integration is often just a polite way to describe working more hours.
I believe that turning off all professional notifications after 6 o'clock in the evening is essential for my recovery.
I shall attempt to designate a specific area of my residence as a dedicated workspace to create a mental barrier.
Do you find that having a strict morning routine helps you transition into a professional mindset more effectively?
Indeed, dressing in professional attire even when working remotely helps me maintain a sense of discipline.
I will use a digital timer to ensure that I take regular breaks away from my computer screen every hour.
That is a healthy habit that will prevent physical strain and maintain your cognitive clarity throughout the day.
I find that my creativity increases significantly when I allow myself time to engage in non-work related activities.
We must remember that we are more than just our professional outputs. Our personal well-being is our greatest asset.
I shall finalize my weekly planner tonight and ensure that I have blocked out time for physical exercise and reading.
Your organizational skills are admirable. I will try to emulate your structured approach to manage my own time better.
I am happy to share my templates with you if you believe they would be helpful for your personal organization.
I would appreciate that very much. I am determined to reclaim my personal time and improve my overall quality of life.
I am certain that with a little discipline and some clear boundaries, you will feel much more balanced and satisfied.
I look forward to making these changes. Thank you for providing me with such a practical and supportive perspective today.
Lesson 18. Office Administration.
I am eager to learn the specific administrative protocols that ensure this department operates so smoothly every day.
Every workstation has pens and pencils on the desk. The secretary writes on a notepad to record all incoming calls.
I see that there is a high value placed on maintaining a tangible record of all daily professional communications.
While digital tools are hype for their efficiency, it is controversial whether they are as reliable as a physical log.
There is a trending movement toward paperless offices, yet many legal documents still require a physical signature.
I believe that a combination of both digital and traditional methods provides the most robust organizational system.
I shall ensure that I restock the stationery supplies every Monday morning to prevent any disruption to our workflow.
Will you be responsible for organizing the physical archives that are located in the basement storage facility?
I am happy to take on that responsibility. I find the process of categorizing historical documents to be quite rewarding.
I will provide you with the key to the secure filing cabinet where we store the most sensitive personnel records.
I understand that maintaining confidentiality is the most critical aspect of our administrative roles in this firm.
I find that a tidy desk is a reflection of a tidy mind and leads to a much more efficient working day.
I agree completely. I will make it a habit to clear my workspace before I depart the office each evening.
I shall show you how to operate the high-capacity scanner so that we can begin digitizing the older client files.
That will be a significant project, but it will certainly improve the accessibility of our information in the future.
I am pleased with your progress so far. You have a very professional and meticulous approach to your duties.
Thank you. I am committed to supporting the team and ensuring that our office remains a model of administrative excellence.
I will leave you to finish the morning mail distribution while I attend the senior management briefing on the third floor.
I shall complete the task promptly and then proceed to the archiving project as we discussed earlier this morning.
Lesson 19, Network Security.
The recent increase in global cyber attacks necessitates a much more aggressive approach to our digital defenses.
Exactly, and let us not forget to secure our Wi-Fi network too, as it is often the most vulnerable entry point.
I have observed that many employees still use weak passwords despite our repeated security training sessions.
There is much hype surrounding multi-factor authentication, which is trending as the new standard for corporate security.
It is controversial among some staff who find the additional steps to be a hindrance to their daily productivity.
However, the cost of a single data breach is far greater than the minor inconvenience of a secure login process.
I shall implement a mandatory password update for the entire department by the end of this business week.
Do you believe that artificial intelligence will eventually be able to predict and prevent cyber threats in real time?
Some researchers are optimistic, but others fear that hackers will also use AI to create more sophisticated attacks.
I will conduct a vulnerability assessment on all our remote access points to ensure there are no hidden weaknesses.
Your technical expertise in network architecture is a vital asset for the protection of our firm's intellectual property.
I find that staying updated on the latest security protocols is a continuous but necessary part of our profession.
We must also educate our clients on how to protect their personal information when using our public digital portals.
I shall draft a security advisory newsletter that explains the common signs of a phishing attempt in simple language.
That is a proactive step that will significantly reduce the risk of a successful social engineering attack on our users.
I am determined to ensure that our network remains a fortress against any unauthorized external or internal access.
I share your determination. A secure digital environment is the foundation of trust in our modern interconnected world.
I will finish the firewall configuration tonight and run a series of penetration tests to verify the new security rules.
Excellent. I will monitor the system logs for any unusual activity while you are performing those critical technical updates.
Lesson 20, Finalizing Plans.
We have finally reached a consensus on the destination for our group celebration in the Mediterranean.
Great! Once you finalize the dates, you can start booking accommodations and researching the local flight options.
I have found several villas that offer a private pool and are within a short distance of the local beaches.
There is currently a lot of hype regarding eco-friendly tourism in that particular coastal region of the world.
It is a trending topic to discuss how we can minimize our carbon footprint while enjoying international travel.
It is controversial whether green travel can truly offset the impact of a long-distance flight on the environment.
I shall suggest that we contribute to a local reforestation project as a way to balance our travel impact.
That is a very thoughtful initiative that I am certain the rest of the group will be happy to support.
I will create a shared spreadsheet where everyone can enter their personal flight details and dietary preferences.
Do you believe that we should hire a local guide to help us explore the historical landmarks of the area?
Indeed, a guide provides a level of historical context and local insight that a travel book simply cannot offer.
I will confirm the availability of the catering service that specializes in traditional regional cuisine for our main dinner.
Your attention to the culinary aspects of the trip will undoubtedly make the celebration even more memorable for everyone.
I find that a well-planned itinerary allows us to relax and enjoy the experience without any logistical stress.
We must ensure that we have a flexible plan that allows for some spontaneous exploration of the local villages.
I shall send out a final confirmation message to the entire group once the primary bookings are secured.
Excellent. I will take responsibility for managing the shared budget and ensuring that all deposits are paid on time.
I am very much looking forward to this trip. It will be a perfect way to celebrate such a special occasion together.
I agree completely. A successful group journey is the result of careful planning and a shared spirit of adventure.
Lesson 21. Morning Serenity.
I have observed that my productivity increases significantly when I dedicate the first hour of my day to quiet reflection.
That sounds relaxing. However, I typically rush through mine because I feel the pressure of pending deadlines.
It is important to have a peaceful start to your morning to maintain mental clarity throughout the entire day.
There is much hype regarding the morning routine trend on social media, but I find it difficult to implement.
While it is a trending topic, the benefits of avoiding digital distractions upon waking are quite substantial and real.
It is controversial whether waking up at 5 in the morning is truly necessary for high levels of professional success.
I believe the specific time is less important than the quality of the stillness you cultivate before you begin working.
Do you suggest that I should avoid checking my professional correspondence until I have reached the office?
Indeed, allowing your mind to wake up without external demands can prevent the onset of early morning anxiety.
I shall attempt to wake up 30 minutes earlier tomorrow to enjoy a silent breakfast without my mobile phone.
You might find that the lack of urgency actually allows you to complete your subsequent tasks more efficiently.
I find that when I rush, I often make small administrative errors that require more time to correct later.
That is a common experience. Haste is frequently the enemy of precision in our line of professional work.
I am curious if you incorporate physical exercise or meditation into your early morning ritual as well.
I prefer a short period of meditation followed by reading a book that is unrelated to our current industry.
I shall definitely consider your advice. A more peaceful transition into the workday sounds very appealing to me.
It is a gradual process, but the long-term impact on your overall well-being will be undeniably positive.
I will start by placing my phone in another room tonight so that I am not tempted to reach for it.
That is an excellent first step toward reclaiming your morning and improving your focus for the day ahead.
Lesson 22. Medical Preparation.
I understand that you are feeling nervous about the procedure, but the medical staff here is highly qualified.
Before my surgery, my mother will go with me to ensure that I have the emotional support that I need.
That is a very wise decision. Having a familiar person nearby can significantly reduce your level of stress.
The nurses will take my temperature and check my vital signs as soon as we arrive at the clinic tomorrow.
There is currently much hype about robotic-assisted surgery, which is the method your surgeon will be utilizing.
While it is trending for its precision, it is still controversial among some patients who prefer a traditional approach.
I have researched the success rates for this specific technology, and they are remarkably high in this facility.
I am required to fast for 12 hours prior to the operation to ensure that there are no complications with anesthesia.
It is essential to follow those instructions strictly to guarantee your safety during the entire medical process.
I am worried about the duration of the recovery period and how long I will be unable to return to work.
The doctor mentioned that you should be able to resume your normal activities within 10 to 14 days.
I shall use that time to rest properly and catch up on the literature that I have been meaning to read.
I will gladly bring you some healthy meals and any books you require while you are convalescing at home.
Your kindness is very much appreciated, as I find the prospect of being immobile to be quite frustrating.
We must prioritize your physical healing above all else during the next few weeks to ensure a full recovery.
I shall call the insurance company this afternoon to finalize the details regarding the coverage of the procedure.
That is a sensible administrative step to take so that you do not have any financial concerns afterward.
I feel more prepared now that we have discussed the logistics and the emotional aspects of the surgery.
I am confident that everything will proceed smoothly and that you will feel much better in the near future.
Lesson 23. Gradual Solutions.
The lecture today regarding the future of international cooperation was exceptionally thought-provoking, was it not?
It was indeed. I appreciated the professor's point that global harmony is not an empty ideal but a challenge given to us.
This challenge will be solved gradually through consistent effort rather than through a single, sudden transformation.
There is much hype surrounding the idea that technology alone can solve our most pressing humanitarian issues.
It is controversial whether artificial intelligence can truly address problems that are fundamentally rooted in human nature.
I believe that the trending focus on short-term fixes often distracts us from the need for systemic, long-term change.
We must recognize that progress often happens in small increments that are difficult to observe in real time.
Do you believe that individual actions can truly contribute to the resolution of such vast global problems?
Every significant movement in history began with the cumulative actions of individuals who were committed to a cause.
I find it challenging to remain optimistic when the news cycle is dominated by stories of conflict and stagnation.
It is helpful to remember that even the most complex problems in history were eventually resolved through persistence.
I shall focus my research paper on the diplomatic strategies that have successfully prevented regional conflicts in the past.
That is a constructive approach. Analyzing past successes can provide a useful blueprint for our current difficulties.
I am curious how we can encourage the younger generation to view global citizenship as a personal responsibility.
Education is the primary tool for fostering empathy and a sense of connection to the rest of the world.
I will attempt to incorporate more diverse perspectives into my own studies to broaden my understanding of these issues.
A broad perspective is essential for anyone who wishes to contribute meaningfully to the progress of our global society.
I am glad we had this discussion. It has given me a much more grounded perspective on the future.
I share your sentiment. Engaging with these difficult questions is the first step toward finding practical and lasting solutions.
Lesson 24: Weekend Plans.
It is almost the end of the business week, and the weather forecast for the next 2 days appears quite favorable.
Hey, have you made any plans for the weekend yet? I am still considering my options for Saturday and Sunday.
Not yet. Why? Do you have something in mind that might be of interest to both of us?
There is currently much hype about the new art exhibition that just opened at the National Gallery downtown.
I have heard that it is quite a trending event, featuring several contemporary artists from across the continent.
It is somewhat controversial because of the abstract nature of the installations, but I am very curious to see it.
I find that experiencing controversial art is often more intellectually stimulating than viewing more traditional pieces.
Would you like to accompany me on Saturday morning before the crowds become too large and overwhelming?
I would be delighted to join you. Perhaps we could enjoy a formal lunch at that new bistro nearby afterward.
That sounds like a wonderful plan. I shall make a reservation for us to ensure that we secure a table.
Do you intend to spend the remainder of your Sunday preparing for our upcoming presentation on Monday morning?
I prefer to complete my professional preparations on Friday evening so that I can enjoy a full day of rest.
That is a very disciplined approach that I should probably attempt to adopt for my own work-life balance.
I find that I am much more creative and focused when I allow myself a total break from work-related thoughts.
I agree. Our productivity is often enhanced by the quality of the leisure time we allow ourselves during the weekend.
I shall send you a message with the specific time and location of the exhibition once I have checked the schedule.
Excellent. I will ensure that I am punctual so that we can maximize our time exploring the gallery together.
I am genuinely looking forward to this. It will be a refreshing change from our usual professional environment.
I feel the same way. A dose of culture and a pleasant lunch are exactly what I need to conclude this week.
Lesson 25: Reliable Connection.
I am pleased to see that the technical infrastructure in this new facility is as advanced as they claimed in the brochure.
Is the connection fast and reliable for your data-intensive tasks? I need to ensure my video call will not be interrupted.
Yes, the Wi-Fi here is excellent. It is significantly faster than the service we were utilizing at our previous location.
There is much hype surrounding the transition to fifth-generation wireless technology in urban business centers like this one.
While it is trending for its speed, the placement of the network towers remains a controversial topic in local politics.
I believe that a stable internet connection is now as essential to a business as electricity or running water.
I shall run a final security check on the private network before we begin transferring the confidential client files.
Do you find that the speed of the network has a direct impact on your overall professional satisfaction during the day?
Absolutely. Experiencing technical delays can be incredibly frustrating when we are working under such strict deadlines.
I will inform the management that we are very satisfied with the current technological provisions of this workspace.
That is a good idea. Positive feedback is often just as important as reporting issues when they occur.
I find that the reliability of the tools we use allows us to focus entirely on the quality of our creative output.
Indeed, when the technology functions seamlessly, it becomes almost invisible, allowing for a more natural workflow.
I shall begin my conference call now, confident that the signal will remain strong throughout the entire presentation.
I will continue my research. Please let me know if you experience any unexpected fluctuations in the connection speed.
I appreciate your technical support. It provides a great deal of peace of mind while I am presenting to the board.
It is my responsibility to ensure that our digital environment is optimized for our collective success today.
I am certain that this will be one of our most productive sessions since we moved to this professional hub.
I share your optimism. Having the right tools and a reliable environment is the foundation of high-quality work.